Welcome back to another episode of Gnarly Farmville. I'm your host, Sam Kizer, and this week we'll be talking about another radical feature of Farmville, Virginia. Nope, not Walmart. We're talking about the Appomattox River, or the Appo, as it's referred to by water sports enthusiasts. It runs under 3rd Street and behind Charlie's Waterfront Cafe, hence the name Waterfront. I bet you don't see much of the river from there. Today I'm joined in the studio by our resident outdoor enthusiast expert, Joshua Upchurch, as well as by Christopher J. Clements, another student in Dr. Kessler's Intro to Outdoor Adventure Skills class. Recently, these two went on a canoe trip on the Appomattox River with class. Both of them had a very different experience on the river, however. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the Appomattox River. It's a tributary of the James River, approximately 137 miles in length, flowing through Farmville, Virginia, in Prince Edward County. It's named for the Appomattox Indian tribe who lived along its lower banks, and is home to the Appomattox River Company, the most radical canoe and kayak specialty store in the country. So back to the trip that was taken last Wednesday with Dr. Kessler's Outdoor 340 class. Chris Clements is going to give us a brief overview of the trip. Chris?
We started out at Buffalo Creek next to Farmville Skate Park. The river's a little higher than normal and flowing quite rapidly.
Oh no, dude.
My partner and I were a little nervous at first, but quickly got the hang of it and started stroking it hard.
Excellent.
So what was the water temp like in there?
I think that's a question that's better suited for Josh.
All right, Josh. So tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, it was going pretty good up until we ran into the dam. There was a...
Now, where's that dam at?
The dam's right behind Charlie's Waterfront Cafe. And apparently we were informed about the dam, but me and Logan, you know what? We just went for it. And, about an hour and a half of, being stuck in the frozen river later.
So now, what exactly happened with the dam? Were you supposed to go one way, or?
We were supposed to go left, but we just decided to try and jump it with the canoe. And there happened to be some 2-foot-high wooden pylons that came out of the water. Are
they called those strainers? What's that called in canoe lingo, Chris? Help us out.
Strainer.
I wouldn't say it was a strainer so much as an obstacle, like a roadblock.
And or river block in this case.
Yeah, just rammed it, and the boat quickly rammed it.
Did you ram it hard?
Car ramrod. And we got stuck for about an hour. The boat filled up with water, couldn't get it out.
Dude, couldn't pull it out?
No, dude, never pull out.
So now I'm sure they must have called in the Coast Guard or had some helicopters, some rescue swimmers. Did y'all end up ever getting rescued?
No, there was a guy on the back porch of Charlie's who was yelling at me, but I couldn't hear him over the river. And then 2 old guys walked by with a rope, and that was unsuccessful as well. So we just kind of got out and walked to Charlie's soaking wet.
All right, so Chris, what was going through your head when you got back to the, takeout point and there was no Josh?
Well, at first I didn't really worry about it because I thought he might have just pulled over on the side of the bank and started getting it on.
Gross.
But that obviously wasn't the case. So did Dr. Kessler go out there after him, or did they retrieve the canoe, or did you just go back to class?
Well, I kind of asked her, wonder if they're okay, and she was like, oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong. They'll be fine. And then I found out 3 hours later they finally got back.
All right, so Josh is obviously with us in the studio, and they made it back safe. But the moral of this story is,
when in doubt, hang left.
And that about wraps it up for this episode of Gnarly Farmville. Join back next week where we capture another radical feature of Farmville, Virginia. I'm Sam Kizer, and join us next time.